this is my favorite part of the year. When I took on this run as president, which is now going into the 6th year, for those of you that are fairly new to the club, I was president for a couple of years over a decade ago, and did a few things, but felt like we've accomplished a little more on this go around, and of course that's as much contributed to everybody in this room as it would be me or anybody else. So one of the things I wanted to try to do is recognize folks throughout the year. We have our Ham of the Year award, which is voted on by the entire membership, but I got the idea to give out some presidential certificates, and then the officers give out something, that kind of thing. And little did I know when I started that past club president from years ago apparently, and maybe some presidents plural, used to do that. But thanks to Penny Hudson had posted on Facebook, I got to see a few of those, and so I was like, well, that's a good tradition to bring back. I could give them out throughout the year, but I think tonight is like an appropriate night, and it makes it special and just kind of adds to everything. So we try to give out some recognition. I could look around this room, walk around this room, and think of something to give to every single person in this room. I'm appreciative and thankful for each and every one of you. I do limit what I give out or whatever, and to make it that much more special. But it's always good to save a little something for next year too. So, with that being said, let me start. I've got something here. Our contest group this year participated in the 2023 Tennessee QSO party, and unfortunately, I was working, didn't get to participate personally. But they mailed this to me because my address is on the website or whatever. But Ben, Dave, and anybody else that participates in our contest. Our contest group placed first in the Tennessee QSO party. First place for a Tennessee club, Bristol Amateur Radio Club, was 7 entries and 492,357 points. So, Ben, if you want to accept this on behalf of the contest group, and what we've done in the past is, whoever you decide to put that with, that's up to y'all.
All right.
I think Dave has one because he was first one year.
I know we had a bunch of us participate. Dave Rotenberry. Let's see, anybody else here? I know Tim Lee kind of got his feet wet contesting in that, and Uncle Jim, Big Green Varmint, actually submitted a log in that contest as well. I think we had N4DW that was on the air. Yeah, AA4DD. So no, we're glad to accept that. Glad to get it back, and we've won this a number of times for the club, and I have honestly seen that there is a lot of envy from folks around Tennessee that even with the contest group as a whole, they're very envious of our small club up here and the activity that we have with contesting. So they're real competitive. We just have a good time. So
there's a fellow in Middle Tennessee that makes those awards.
Yes. It sure is. K0EJ. Trying to remember his name. Mark. Yeah, Mark Specht. Yeah. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, that group definitely puts us on the map, and I need to get back into participating. So the next series that I give out is I call them the Presidential Certificate of Appreciation, because they kind of come from me as the club president. Once in a while, usually what these cover is kind of things that have happened on the year that we're on, the 2023, whatnot. Occasionally, we go back and kind of recognize a long-term achievement, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute on another one that I'm going to give out here. But Emmett's not with us tonight, but I want to go ahead just in front of everybody and tell you what I got here. I got a special one. I actually went and got a plaque on this one because I want to preserve this, and you'll see why when you see it. But years ago, when I was a kid, I was in the FFA. Never lived on a farm, but things started changing. You could take home ec when you were a boy, and you could be in the FFA if you wasn't a farmer. And I held an office called Sentinel, and what I did, I sat by the door, and I was like the door greeter and kind of the security guard and that kind of thing, and mostly made people feel welcome, tried to. And we've had some folks over the past few years, along with Emmett, that have if you keyed up on 6-7 repeater for years, you were gonna get an answer from Emmett, you were gonna get an answer from Jim, or you were gonna get an answer from Dale. And Emmett's pretty much the one left now at this point. So I'm calling this the Sentinel Award, and it's in memory of Jim Jarvis and Dale Barker, WD4JJ and KT4SQ, for Emmett Wilson, WE4AWJ, for years of dedicated service, making sure, along with Dale and Jim, that those who made a call on 146.670 were always welcomed, were always greeted and made to feel welcome. And this actually has pictures of both of them on there. And I think, as close of a friend as Emmett was to these guys, I think he will take great pleasure in hanging this picture on his wall. So come January at that club meeting, we'll formally present this to Emmett, but I wanted everybody to have an opportunity to see this in case you don't make it to January's meeting. So now the certificates, the presidential certificates that I give out. I'm gonna pull these in no certain order. I think most everybody that's involved is here. But these, I kind of select these. I try to pay attention to things that go on throughout the year. Some of you in this room have gotten them in the past, and maybe even done some of the same things again. But I try to spread those out, so as much as possible. So I'll just go ahead and start. This one, each one of them is going to say presented this 5th day of December 2023. This is for Bill Powers, K4TWP, in appreciation for stepping up to become the editor of the QRM newsletter. Bill has graciously taken on this role with much enthusiasm. The club's newsletter is an essential function as it keeps members informed on important events. Bill has demonstrated that he is the right person for the job. Thank you, Bill, for a job well done.
You told him that's a lifetime appointment.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, my brain gets a little foggy from time to time, so is there anybody here besides me that's also a member of the Mayor's Club by chance? Okay, well, so this next one, and I won't reread the date and all that kind of stuff. This is presented to the Mayor's Club, which they have a call sign, K4PAY. This is unique. I've always presented these to individuals, and it's always been direct members of our club. So this one actually is going to another club. Appreciation for the Mayor's Club's participation in the first ever combined Mayor's and BARC Field Day. This joint venture enhanced the event and established a new tradition to serve our clubs and our communities well. So on behalf of Mayor's, I'll accept this and get this to someone higher up their chain than I am. And this one, he's not here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll hang on to it for the January meeting, and if he doesn't make that meeting, then I know who I can give it to get it to him. But I will be posting this video, so we'll go ahead and read this one. In appreciation for, this is, George DeVault, W3KPT. In appreciation for articles contributed to the club newsletter, George has contributed multiple articles to the club's newsletter this year. The content of these articles is interesting and are as well written as he is well spoken. George has a vast history in amateur and broadcast radio and local television, which he is gracious in sharing with us through these writings. So thank you, George, for a job well done. If he's not there in January, I'll give it to you to take.
I'll see you tomorrow, whatever you'd rather do.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and give it to him, and we'll mention it at the meeting and recognize. One of y'all care just pass that down. Yeah, that way he's got it. Okay, so this is the last of the presidential certificates for this year. This one is going to be presented to Dwayne, KD4NT. In appreciation for your efforts at Field Day 2023, Dwayne assisted others in the setup before working on his own station. He camped out at the site and ensured all the equipment was safe and secure. Dwayne, you have been an asset to the club in many ways, and your participation at Field Day is just one example of your outstanding contributions. Thank you for a job well done.
That's the word, it's
This next one, good job, man. This one might be a little difficult. So a few years ago, when we started giving out these presidential certificates, came up with one that I wanted to do like a tiered level system, I guess, for lack of a better term, of presidential certificates, then the officers, and then the club give out the granddaddy. So we came up with this award. It's called the Gary Hudson Award, Technical Excellence. And the first ever recipient of this award was Bob Lilly. And you could see, I didn't know how a simple piece of paper and a picture frame would make somebody feel so good. But I stood there at that meeting that night, and I looked over Bob's direction, and Ben was sitting across from him, and Ben started nudging who was sitting beside him and pointing at Bob and like, watch this, because Ben knew it was coming. And the smile on Bob's face and the things he told Ben and other people, his appreciation for that award, it just made my year. One of those things that makes me enjoy being president of this club, and I'm glad that I decided to go ahead and stay on with that. So what we decided to do this year is, because you can't think of any two people in this club over the years, I think, that has any more internal knowledge, whatever you want to call it, of radio equipment, the ins and outs. The old saying, they forgot more than anybody else will never, they never forgot anything. So we, in honor of Bob, we renamed this the Gary Hudson W4CBX and Bob Lilly W4BCU Award of Technical Excellence. In honor of our friends Gary Hudson W4CBX and Bob Lilly W4BCU, the Elmer's, so I'll pluralize that there now. As voted by the club officers, this award is presented to Ben Morris, KT40, for his many contributions in assisting others with questions about radios. When someone posts a technical question on the club Facebook group, Ben is often the first to answer with accurate information or a suggested resource. Your contributions to the club and the hobby are greatly appreciated. So these next award is voted by you, the club members. We have a unique situation this year, and we discovered, of course, after everybody had left, so we couldn't really take a vote on what to do, so the club officers kind of got together and had to do a consensus on this. We'll let the club address it for the next go around. But we had a tie, and not just two people got 2 votes and everybody else got 1. This was an overwhelming majority that voted for 2 individuals for this award. So we decided just, this go around, we go ahead and get 2 trophies and present 2 awards. Well, an interesting thing happened on the way to the trophy shop. Okay, after I went there, I got a phone call, and they told me that the golden corn cob is no longer being made. That they can't get. We could get one for like $100 or something, maybe. But not even sure it'll look like this anymore. They said, we got 1 left. What do you want to do? I said, I want that one. We got to give out 1 last golden corn cob to kick some other cob. So with 2 award recipients, I decided, well, the elder statesman of the club that's going to receive this award tonight should get the last golden corn cob. It's a microphone. We love calling it golden corn cob. As far as the plaque goes, the 2 award recipients could probably just split time with it if they want to. Because that's another part of it, you get to keep the plaque. So, recipient number 1, there's not a whole lot more I can add or say. Everybody knows what he does for the club. We greatly appreciate him, and you all voted to make him Ham of the Year. Ben Morris, KT40, you get the final golden corn cob, buddy. So this is what the trophy is going to look like unless they figure out the golden corn cob. So, I mean, things change. It happens. So, figured, well, we'll give the new microphone to a newer member that's going to get the other Ham of the Year for this year. And this fella has helped out with a lot of stuff, and you name it, and jumped in there, has really been an asset. And not only that, But he also donated a repeater to the club. So Pete Johnson, here you go, buddy. You get the first of the new. And I'm gonna set the plaque in between you and y'all can figure that out.
Thank you.